Hello everyone, welcome back to 17 square meters garden. Today I'm gonna be sowing flower seeds for my balcony garden. It's not gonna be a tutorial, cause I think that sowing seeds is pretty straightforward, but I am gonna share a few tips, a few informations about these plants so that you can take something useful out of this video. Okay, so today I will be sowing some zinnias. I have two gorgeous cultivars, Art Deco and Cresto Peachy Pink. Then I have Tagetes or Marigolds, lovely creamy yellow cultivar Snowstorm. I have Astrantia Major Symphony Rose, Cosmos Kiro and Gypsophila paniculata Snowflake. I also want to give you a quick look at what seed trays I'm using. These are self-watering type. So how it works, there is the base or the tray. You would pour water in it and place the edge of the capillary mat in the water so that the mat absorbs the water, and on top of that you will put your seed trays in which you're gonna sow your seeds, obviously. And so the mat distributes the water with the capillary action, and the soil in your seed tray can absorb it through the drainage holes. There's also a humidity dome which you can place to speed up germination and prevent seeds from drying out, but you will take it off as soon as the first seed has germinated to prevent fungal diseases from developing. I think it's a really practical solution, but personally I start to use the capillary watering system once my seeds have already germinated, because I like to manually control how much water my seeds are getting before they germinate. So I'm filling all the cells with seed starting mix. It's important to choose good quality, well-draining, porous potting mix that doesn't hold on to too much moisture, that is lightweight. You could use a multi-purpose potting mix, but you would use one that doesn't contain any fertilizers. I'm gently pressing the soil in each cell. I'm using a bamboo stick to create small, shallow holes. And I'm gonna start by sowing zinnias. Zinnias require full sun location, and my balcony is in part shade. But I still want to give it a try, and I will place the pots strategically, and also I will be giving some to my parents-in-law for their south-facing balcony. If you have a very limited space, you could totally just use one slightly larger plastic pot and sow a few zinnia seeds together. So you will be growing several of them in the same pot, and then you will just bump the size of the container as the plants grow. You could also obviously sow them directly in their final container on your balcony once the risk of frost has passed. I'm sowing them into their separate cells. I sow about 2-3 seeds per cell because not every seed will germinate. Zinnias need light in order to germinate, so do not bury them too deep, just lightly cover them with soil. They should germinate within a week. Don't forget to label them and water them after planting. I will water all my seeds at the end. Next is Cosmos. I have a beautiful yellow cultivar called Kiro. I have grown Cosmos from seeds on my balcony years ago, and those that were standing close to the railing, which is the spot on my balcony that receives the biggest amount of morning sunlight, those Cosmos bloomed. So I want to repeat that and place them strategically, just as with zinnias. Cosmos needs the light to germinate, so you could literally just place them on top of soil, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm gonna be placing 2-3 seeds per cell, and I'm gonna just gently sprinkle some soil on top of it. You could totally use vermiculite, because vermiculite has a really good water holding capacity and prevents soil from drying out too quickly, but I'm using soil. Just gently pressing so that the seed has contact with the soil, and these should germinate in about a week or two. Okay, next is Astrantia. Astrantia is a really beautiful perennial flower for part shade. There are different colors, there are pinks and reds and whites, but here's the trick. Astrantia seeds need cold stratification to break the seed dormancy. So you would either sow them in the fall and then leave them outside or in a cold frame and they will most likely germinate for you in the spring. Or you will just sow them in the spring, but then you have to place them in the refrigerator for about 4 weeks. Then you take them out of the refrigerator, you put them in a warm, sunny spot, and then they will germinate for you. First, I'm gonna water the potting soil, I will scatter the seeds on top of soil, and as you can see, I'm only using one slightly larger pot. I'm gonna sow plenty of seeds on top of soil, cover them a little bit with soil, place the plastic bag on top of it, I'm gonna put them in the fridge, and I'm gonna set my alarm clock to ring in 4 weeks, but also I will write on the pot when I need to take them out. And the two last flowers for today are Tagetes Snowstorm, commonly called Marigolds, and Gypsophila, commonly called Baby's Breath. I'm starting with Marigolds. If you have never grown plants from seeds, or if you have failed growing plants from seeds in the past and now you feel discouraged, definitely try growing marigolds. They are probably one of the easiest flowers to grow from seeds. I bet if I just toss this handful of seeds somewhere randomly in one of my pots, I'll probably have marigolds growing there in summer. They are really easy to grow, they are great companion plants, for example for tomatoes. They bloom all summer long until frost. Very, very easy to take care of. And they should germinate somewhere between 5 days and 2 weeks. Last but not least, Gypsophila. I remember growing this plant as a kid with my grandma. She always had those big clouds of Gypsophila flowers in her garden. And I asked her recently how come she doesn't grow them anymore, and she said she simply forgot about them. So I will be sending her some of my seeds because obviously I have more than I need. And I have a Gypsophila paniculata here, which theoretically can be grown in partial shade. It's the first time that I'm trying to grow this perennial Gypsophila, so it is an experiment. The seeds are very tiny and the plant grows in kind of mounds or clumps. So what I will do is I will scatter several seeds in each cell, because they are so tiny it will be impossible to just seed them one by one, and I'll be keeping them as groupings, let's say, and then I will transplant them into bigger pot. But I hear that they do not like root disturbance, the perennial type of Gypsophila. So probably the best would be to just sow them directly in their final pot once the risk of frost has passed. But my pots are all taken by spring bulbs. So for now I will try this method, and if it doesn't work, if it goes wrong, well then I can always start them again directly in their final pots sometime in April. Okay, now time to water everything. I use a spray bottle to water my seeds, because this way you moisten the soil without disturbing and without dislodging the seeds. Don't allow the soil to dry out, it's really important to keep the soil moist when your seeds are germinating. Again, if you're using humidity domes, remove them, take them off as soon as the first seeds germinates. Place your seeds on a bright south-facing windowsill. I have no window sills at all, and all my windows are facing north, so I use my kitchen cabinets as a propagation station, and I'm using full spectrum LED lights, and I will be turning them on in the morning and turning them off at night. Well, thank you guys for joining me today for this seed sowing episode. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again in the next video. Bye!